Okay, yesterday's experiment. First off, I apologize for leaving so abruptly in yesterday's video, but I got called because I hadn't shown up to see my TV show Game of Thrones, which is one of my favorites, and it had started and I was late, so thank goodness they called or I'd have missed it. But anyway, my experiment by changing the USB port did not achieve anything because, as you'll see, when you watch the video, you're going to actually be watching this one after. So as you saw in the video, I ended up having to speed things up and all that. So today I'm using another port. Unfortunately, I have a lot of ports on this computer. I purchased it just for video, and it works great up until here recently. So I'm kind of trying to backtrack through any changes that I've made to the system to see if I can figure out and eliminate what the problem is. One of the changes that I made was I received an extra, another camera that was exactly the duplicate of the camera I already have. And I was thinking about it. I leave it plugged in all the time. And I thought, well, maybe because there's two plugged in, it's confused. So I've unplugged the other one. I only have this one plugged in now. And I have moved into a new USB port. This one is a more direct port. And it's one that I normally run software off of with no problems, or hardware. And what else have I done? And I updated my DivX because that was telling me it needed an update. I also know that Silverlight, which is Microsoft's version, their own homemade version of Flash, which has a lot to do with video processing, has been updated. So I may remove both of those things, or at least disable them also if this doesn't work, but we'll see what happens. So I did a little pre-planning this time because this page really kind of made me think about my new grandbaby Madison, especially because it's a little girl and it's Easter lilies, and I don't know, it just made me think of her. So I actually went and printed off a photo. My daughter takes a photo of Madison every day. That's her 365-day project for 2013. So I have a lot of photos to choose from, and I'm always getting a new photo every day. Most of the time I get more than one. So I was quickly looking back, and of her most recent photos, this one's one of my absolute favorites. And an ongoing theme for me this year is joy. And when I look at this photo of Mads, I immediately just think of pure joy, because she has so much joy to share with everyone. And I have those scrapbook letters, the sticky back scrapbook letters, so I pulled some off just to represent, pure joy and then her name. And what I thought I would do is use Maddie as my focal point for the page, and use those letters. So, am I pushing a little bit into, the concept of scrapbooking? Probably, but I'm not really going with a specific event, or anything like that. I kind of just want to use Maddie as my model. Whereas typically I might use a drawing of my own, or I might use a photo from a magazine. I just want to use Mads. And I thought about whether or not to, fancy cut her out, but I kind of like her with the background of her little bouncy chair behind her, because she doesn't have any hair yet. I mean, she actually does have hair, but it's so baby fine that in a lot of photos, especially this one where it has a lot of light, you can't see her hair that well. So I kind of want to keep the chair because it helps to show her head. But I do want to alter some of the letters. So what I was kind of like just laying it down here and trying to decide placement. Now I'm not going to use the same thing on the reverse side, so I'm probably going to want to somehow cover that up. And I also was thinking of where I want to put my letters, and I think I want to put the pure joy down here, and then wherever I put Mads, I want to put the Maddie by her. So I think what I'm going to do, just debating, I think I'm just going to do like this, put Mads here, and then put the letters somewhere else. But my printer, because it is an inkjet, I can see that even though I printed this a while ago, I can still see the ink sitting right on the surface, and I know if I push my fingers on this, I'm going to get ink that comes back off, and it's going to leave an impression on the photo. So I'm actually going to take this outside and give it a nice spray coating, and this is a glossy photo printed on photo paper, so I don't want to use my Krylon matte, which is what I normally use. So I'm just going to use this gloss clear. This is designed to bond over plastic and other types of products. It's non-yellowing, and it's also UV resistant. So it's a great product to use, you know, for things like this in my art journal. And once it dries to a what I call a hard finish. Basically, it is absolutely not going to be sticky. And because I can see the ink sitting on the surface, if I tried to brush something over this, it would absolutely smear. So this guarantees that it's not going to be sticky, it's not going to get smudged, and it's going to be protected. But I'm going to have to, you know, run out and do that outside. So in between, while I'm waiting, excuse me, I thought I would just decide what I want to alter. Now there's a lot of dark in this one, so I think the dark letters would probably, I want to kind of go over the photo a little, and they might get a little bit, you know, lost or not stand out. So these are the ones I want to alter, and then these down here, I want to put down here, I'm going to leave them as they are. I obviously want them to be readable, but I want the, you know, her name to be the focus. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go with that light blue that she has there in her little chair. And I'm going to paint them. And because they're sticky backed and they have that little bit of a resist type of paper, I can just take a piece of masking tape, if I can find a piece. Let me see here. Just a cheap piece of masking tape. I'm going to make it longer than her name. I'm going to fold over a little bit of the ends. That's why I made it longer. I'm going to fold over a little bit of the ends, and I'm just going to stick it down to my desktop here. And then I'm just going to stick her letters on here. Whoopsie. Like so. And hopefully this will hold them in place long enough for me to quickly get some paint on there. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm actually going to use, I managed to get, to go out and buy some gesso. The closest local art craft store to me is Joann's, and they're more fabric focused, and they don't have a lot of fine art supplies. They've been getting a few things in, and finally they got in like a no name brand of a few art supplies, and one of those was gesso. So you'll see white gesso again. I'm terrible about ordering things like gesso. There's so much to purchase, you know, the things that I want to use or I want to try, that I feel like my money is better spent on things that I want to try out versus things like gesso. So I tend to only buy it when I can find it really cheap on sale or that sort of thing. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what the price was, but it was minimal. It was so cheap that I couldn't buy white craft paint for that price. So that's why I bought it. But it's got a nice tooth to it, actually. It's not very opaque. And I actually prefer my white gesso to be pretty opaque. But it does have a really nice tooth to it. I can really, once it dries, I can really feel that tooth there. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it was probably money well spent just because it was so cheap. And it's just an added bonus that it actually does have a nice tooth. So I'm just going to let that sit for a second while I close all of this up. And I'm just going to get some of this light blue out. Excuse me. I'm alternating taking the regular allergy pills with one that does not have a decongestant in it, because I'm just feeling like I'm taking a little too much of that decongestant. It's not really good for me. So today is the off day where I just take the regular one, and I can usually tell because I do a lot of that throat clearing and clearing my chest. So I just have a bunch of this paint left over. Not enough to try to go hunt down another art journal page, but might as well make my background pretty, right? Okay, so this is going to dry, and in the process, while that's happening, I'm going to go spray Maddie's picture, and when I come back, it'll be nice and dry, and hopefully my letters will be dry. So I'll be right back. Okay, Matt's photo is dry, so you can see that you really, I mean, you kind of can't even tell that I did it. But now, you know, I know it'll be more protected. Before I take this off, a lot of the, whoops, or not a lot, but some of the papers that I used, the deli plate printed papers, have like that gold metallic. So I used this gold airbrush ink, or well, actually, I maybe used this one, the Folk Art Inca Gold. So I'm just going to put some of that down on my craft sheet, and I'm just going to get anything for a stencil. I'm going to just use this little punchinella, and I'm just going to rub the paint over with my finger. I like to use my finger for this because you don't get a consistent application. Some places there's more, some places there's less, and I kind of like that, especially for when you're adding, you know, things like metallic excuse me, highlights. And I have a bunch of this gold left over, so I think I'll just move this out of the way. Too many things, not enough places to put them. And I'll just add a little gold with my finger here and there on my little page. And I think I'll go ahead and flip and hit the other side too a little bit. Nice way to use up the excess gold paint and continue the little, you know, sort of theme of having the metallics on the page. And I just look for areas where there might be some texture, like where the papers overlap. That's always a good place when you're looking for where you can add little accents like that, where you're going to apply them, you know, like with your finger or that type of thing. Okay, so I used up the rest of that paint, and now I'm going to adhere down Matt's picture. I think I'm going to go around it with some StazOn ink, maybe. I literally have got to clean my desk. I have so much stuff out again. Okay, without hopefully getting it on her face, I'm just going to put a little black ink around the edges. And then, let's see. I really do want to be careful. I really don't want to put anything over Miss Mad's face. Her mama would not be happy with me. Let's see. I'm just going to use white glue, pardon me, while I reach over. And I'm just going to put it on the back. I'm not sure. I can't remember what overlaps where. I think some of this shows through on the other side, but I'm planning to cover it, so that should be all right. And then I don't really want to scrape over this one with a card. If I do, I'm going to put a piece of paper down. So I'm just going to try to flatten this glue out instead. So hopefully I won't have to put a lot of pressure on it. And this is why I don't do greeting cards any longer, because I'm terribly messy. and you're really not supposed to be really messy when you're doing greeting cards. So now you know why I gave that habit up. Let's see, I want to overlap that corner right down here. And of course I got glue on it, don't you know? All right, I'm just going to take a plain piece of deli paper, lay that over it, and then just kind of spread it out just to make sure it's adhering well. That sort of thing. And then I'm just going to keep the deli paper there, flip it over, and work on, quite a bit of it was showing, work on this little section here. And I'm just going to take some printed deli paper. I'm actually just going to figure out what I did with the glue. Did I put it? Yeah, I put it away. Sorry, again, for the reaching. I'm just going to put more glue down. I'm actually just going to put the glue down, let it dry, and then tear the paper away once it's dry. Oops. All right, I'm going to try that again. And see, that's why I put that paper down, because of that very reason right there. All right, so I'm just going to allow that to stay there and dry. And now I'm going to just, hopefully just peel up. Oh, these are a little wet still. I think I'll work on the little Pure Joy ones. Now, here we go again with me trying to get the sticky back off of it. That's always a joy. I'm just going to lift the corner of each one so that it's ready. Usually if you bend the sticky back stuff, you can get the paper to lift. You know, I don't have my glasses on and I can't see that well this far away anymore. Or close up, I guess you should say. I should say. Getting old. Alright, I'm going to see if I can use masking tape to make this lift off of here. I don't know if it'll work or not. We'll see. Knowing my luck, the masking tape won't stick to it at all. Should not be this difficult. It's not working. It doesn't even get enough of a grip. No, it's just coming right off. Okay. I might have to pause. Oh, there's a little fly that got in here. Alright, I'm going to pause and get all of these separated and hunt down my glasses so that I can actually see what I'm doing. I'll be back. Oh, look, and now I got it. It's like threatening it works. I'll be back. Okay, better. I found my glasses and I got them all separated. Now, one of the best ways if you're working with letters is to lay them out and then start with an inner letter so that you can work your way out so that you get your placement so that things don't run off the edges. So I'm going to start here with this E. And I may very well not get them all straight, which is fine. I'm not going to put myself through it trying to get them straight. I just try, but if I it overlapped, I don't care. If I tried to get them straight, I would stress out, and I just don't want to stress out in my art journal, so I don't care. Now I'm going to start over here on this edge and place them down, working my way inward. And that way I know I'm going to have a space in the center between the two words. Go ahead and mush those down. I'm going to go ahead and put her name down now. I think it's all dry. Oh, I should have peeled these off while I had it paused. Oh, here we go again. I'm wondering if I shouldn't have hit these with the heat gun just to be sure they were nice and dry. So they seem a little bit wimpy because I added the paint over them. Alright, let's see if I can get this remotely straight. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to try to just stick down the letter down in stages since it's kind of wonky because it was wet. Not bad. Not bad. Better than I expected. But the getting them apart seems to be even harder because they're a little bit damp. Oh, I ripped it. Okay. Alrighty, so I like that. It looks good. Everything looks good, I think. Now I'm going to put this deli sheet back down, and I'm just going to tear. I kind of want to tear. I was hoping to tear so that it left the part that I glued down. It's not 100% dry, I guess, is what the reason why I'm having an issue with it. Itching my eye. Sorry about that. These are like not really done. I need something. I know. I've got some of that black and white tissue paper still. It's not exactly her birthday, but hey. This is the other side anyway. Just need a couple of little bits that I can glue down. I might do something different. Got some of this too, a little piece of this also. So I'm just going to glue those down. I'm just going to use some matte medium. And then just going to go ahead and carry that around a little bit so that it doesn't look odd being there where it's at. Make sure I'm still trying to keep from ruining her photo. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that on the front as well. I think I'll do just a tiny bit over her photo here. Oops, wrong side. Just need a teeny bit more. I don't really want to completely cover up the P or anything so that, you know, I don't want to take the I away from being able to read it. But that way it's all integrated just a little bit more. What else do I have? And along those lines, I think I'll add a little bit over here just to make sure that this little one too is incorporated in. Alrighty. So I think that, you know, it's kind of short and sweet, but I think that kind of, you know, concludes the second phase, which is just kind of getting something down as our focal image. And I wonder if that is useful. Not really. So that gets us going with the focal image. Now I'm debating whether or not I should, I might go ahead tonight as my homework, figure out a focal image for this side as well, so that we're actually completing both sides at the same time. I can see this little corner right here didn't glue down. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, maybe, in there. Where's that? What did I do with that deli paper? I lost it. Where'd it go? Maybe it fell on the floor. Oh no, here it is. I found it. Yeah. I'm just going to drag that out because I know glue is going to come out of there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this and leave you guys here. I'm going to find, if I have the time, I'm going to find a focal image to put on the reverse side, and that way we'll have finished out both sides of this for this week's class. And when we, or I don't know, it's not really this week for this page. So when we come back tomorrow, we'll work on adding in details.